sleeper here. What do you think? What is this weird thing in your face? Smile again? Smile. Oh, cutie. He's almost 3 months old, aren't you, buddy? He's freaked out of the camera. Or he's trying to go number 2. Yeah. Oh, there's a smile. There's a smile. I gotta look at mommy to smile. I can't smile if I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, cute. What can you do now that you're 3 months old? Okay, I can talk. I talk a lot at night. Before I go to bed, I like talking a lot. Because I don't want to go to bed. But when I do go to bed, it seems like you're going potty in your pants right now. So concentrated. See, I don't like going to bed, but once I'm in bed, I fall asleep almost right away. And then I stay asleep for 12 hours. Mommy and Daddy are so proud of him. What else can I do now that I'm 3 months old? I stare at my hands a lot. I watch Daddy play video games with his hands. And I look at my feet a lot. Don't you look at your feet a lot when you're sitting here? What else can you do? I can smile and I can laugh. I'm annoyed with this camera. Lots of talking right now, huh? What are you saying? Okay, so I'm gonna share with you guys most of the things that I learned the first 3 months of being a new mom. There's a lot of things that you learn just by going through the experience. I just tried to think of all the things that were really beneficial for me, and it took me a while to figure out, but once I figured them out, it was like, I have to share this information. So let's get down to it. First of all, coffee is my new best friend. You cannot buy enough coffee before you give birth. Especially in the first couple weeks, you will want a truckload of coffee. It's the only thing that will get you through. You will be like a walking zombie, and without coffee, you'll just pass out holding the baby. Not to scare you, but it's pretty exhausting. A full 8 hours of sleep, or even 6 hours of sleep, a full night's sleep is no longer a reality. You won't get that for a while. Luckily, we got that sooner than we thought because we decided to sleep train our baby, which that is probably the best advice I could give any new mom or anybody who's about to have a baby. You must sleep train your baby. It's a requirement if you want to get back to having a full night of sleep as soon as possible. Okay, I also have some tips for if you are a new mom, things that you should do before you give birth. Your life will, not to freak you out, but having a baby is a huge life change. You don't think that it will change your life a bunch because it's just a little baby. It's just one more person in your family. It's not gonna be that big of a deal, but it is. Basically, even if you do try to do the things that you did before you had a baby, you are literally always thinking about your baby. For some reason, that's just how women were made, I don't know, or how I was made, I guess. Whatever you try to do, you will be thinking about your baby, whether you want to or not. The first hour or something that you're away from your baby, you'll be like, hallelujah. But then like 2 or 3 hours into being away, you're thinking about your baby and like really concerned, and you want to go back. So yeah, when you're pregnant, just do a bunch of fun stuff where you don't have to worry about your baby while you're doing it. It's not as freeing as it is when you don't have a baby to worry about. The things that I would suggest doing before you have a baby is getting as much sleep as possible. Obviously, they eat every 3 hours, so you're sleeping 2 hours at a time. Maybe you don't get a big chunk of sleep anymore. So get big chunks of sleep while you're pregnant. Even if you're just laying there uncomfortable because your belly is huge, enjoy laying there. You won't get to just lay there for as as long as you want for a really long time once the baby comes. Sleep as much as you can or just rest as much as you can. And then do fun things. Like I just explained, it's like almost impossible to do fun things when you have a newborn. If you try to go out to eat with your baby, you'll just be like trying to eat and staring at your baby and hoping that every little sound he makes isn't the beginning of him wailing. So yeah, just go out to eat as much as you can. Go to the movies a lot. Me and Patrick used to go to the movies like every week, the dollar movies, because it's really cheap and it's fun. Now we've only been one time since the baby was born. You can't take a baby to the movies. You never know when they're gonna scream. Another thing is swim. First of all, it's good for you when you're at the end of your pregnancy, and it feels amazing because once you step in the water when you're pregnant, all the weight is lifted and you feel your normal self again. But be careful getting out, because when you get out, you forget that you have a big belly and then you like fall to the ground. That happened to me a couple times. Go swimming a lot. You can't really go swimming at all after you give birth because you're still healing. It takes you like 6 weeks at least to heal. For me, I'm just now starting to feel back to my normal body self 3 months later. It was pretty decent about 6 weeks after giving birth, but I still had some like aches and pains that I could tell were still from giving birth. So yeah, it takes a while to heal fully. So go swimming because you won't get to for a while. And then when you do heal, you still have a baby, so probably won't swim with your baby anyway. The majority of your attention is on your baby 24/7. You kind of lose yourself in taking care of your baby. So do as much things as you can to have fun and do everything you can for yourself before the baby comes. Another thing, the first week that you come home with your baby is going to be the easiest week of them all. And it may still seem hard. Trust me, just to be honest, it's going to get harder. So enjoy how much your baby sleeps. Enjoy his cuteness. Enjoy how much he's not crying. Who knows? Maybe your baby's different. Maybe he'll start being crazy the week he comes home. But for Jasper, he was pretty much a little angel the first week. He ate every 3 hours and basically just slept when he wasn't eating. I was like fooled into thinking that that was going to be how it was going to be the whole time he was an infant, which is now hilarious to me. Enjoy the first week. Enjoy the non-screaming. The second week, he got a little more fussy, and then I had to start trying to figure out why he was fussy more often. And then the third week, he got really pretty fussy. It just kept kind of like escalating every week. Eventually, I figured out he cried most of the time because he had gas. Babies are gonna get a lot of gas. I think that's the #1 reason why they cry, because their digestive system isn't fully formed yet. So basically all you can do when they're crying because they're gassy is just wait it out. It sucks, but that's just what you have to do. Luckily with Jasper, it went away like after 2 weeks. We tried to use herbal gas remedy stuff from this company called Wish Garden. I don't know if it worked. I just remember a big time period of him being really fussy with gas. I heard gripe water works pretty well. I don't know. I don't think any of it works amazing. I think it helps a little maybe. Basically the best thing you can do is just wait it out. Just try everything you can think of. Hold the baby, rock him, bounce him until he stops crying pretty much. Other tricks that are amazing are a vacuum cleaner. I cannot stress this enough. A vacuum cleaner is a gift from God to mothers. If your baby is screaming and screaming and you cannot figure out why on earth they're screaming so much, try to turn on your vacuum cleaner. Just watch the magic happen, because most likely they'll stop crying. Another trick is to just take them outside. Take them on a walk. Once they get outside, they'll probably stop crying. Just take them on a walk. They'll either just not cry the whole time or they'll end up falling asleep on the walk. Those two things are the best things I've found for a screaming baby. A vacuum cleaner and taking them outside. That phase won't last too long, hopefully for you. It didn't last too long for me. I was getting stressed out because I thought that's how babies were just all the time, and I was like, how the heck am I supposed to deal with this baby who screams all the time? It gets better, so believe in that and take it one step at a time. And do not eat broccoli or cauliflower, or I can't think of the other ones. He was like ultra fussy for 3 days and I could not figure it out, and I finally figured out it was because I was eating broccoli those 3 days. And then when I stopped eating broccoli, he stopped being fussy. So don't make the problem worse by eating broccoli or cauliflower or other gassy foods when you're breastfeeding. Another tip is make to-do lists for every day, because when your baby goes to sleep to take a nap, you will be like so ready for a break that you'll just go sit on your couch or go lay in your bed just to take a breath, that you will not ever get anything done. Because you can't get anything done when your baby's awake and you're dealing with your baby, usually. And you can't get anything done when you're just relaxing on the couch every time your baby takes a nap. So I started making to-do lists so that as soon as you put your baby down, you go look at your to-do list and get 1 or 2 things done off your to-do list. If you didn't get enough sleep in the night, then you can just take a nap when he takes a nap. I wouldn't recommend taking a nap every time he takes a nap, because then your life just seems like a never-ending cycle. You can't tell night from day because you're just like doing the same thing the baby's doing, which is just sleeping little chunks endlessly. So try to separate your days and nights and get things done during the day when your baby's sleeping. Another tip is pick up a hobby. It's another thing to do while your baby's napping, just like crochet. What I started doing is making these videos. So I made a YouTube channel. It kind of makes you feel less worthless, so to speak. Obviously you are worth so much because you're a mom and you're raising a screaming baby who just demands your attention all the time, and you have to be patient through it all, and you're just amazing for doing that in the first place. But to yourself, you kind of feel like you're just doing this one thing constantly, endlessly. So if you have a hobby or something that you really enjoy doing, maybe even finding a way to make money online or just something, it'll make you feel more accomplished, like you did something in your day besides take care of a baby. Make to-do lists and get a hobby so you can feel accomplished, like your day was filled with activities and filled with your baby. So it'll make you feel much better about your life and about the whole mom process. Also, don't worry about how you look. Obviously, I mean, I'm not worrying about how I look. I like wore this yesterday and I still need to take a shower and just threw up my hair and ridiculous, but who cares? Nobody cares. Time. Your baby doesn't care how you look. You shouldn't waste time on it. Unless you are like feeling really disgusting and ugly and dirty. I mean, make yourself feel better about yourself, but don't worry about how you look, because you could be getting stuff done in that time that you're using to get yourself ready for a day when you're just gonna be seeing your baby and your husband. Also, try to get out and do stuff. Like, if you can, try to go do something every day. I try to go on a walk with Jasper every day just to get out of the house and get his eyes on something other than the same house every day. Babies really enjoy just little outings. Keeps their mind working. They get bored too, so if you keep them entertained, they'll get bored less easily, and they'll also sleep better at night too. Also, you can't have too many towels or too many breast pads. There will be liquid everywhere. Have towels in every corner of your house so that when it happens, you can just look to the side and there's a towel right there. Just grab it and use it, and then put it back. Like, you don't have to clean these towels every time you use them. I have towels everywhere, all over the house, just in case I need one for a certain liquid that has just been exploded all over me. Towels and breast pads, have a lot of them. So there's gonna be lots of crying. You just have to learn that it's okay if your baby cries, because it's the only way they know how to talk. So if your baby's screaming and you've tried everything, just look at it as they're just expressing their emotions. Just embrace it. Stay calm, and it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It just means they're talking a lot. If you have to, just put them in their crib and walk away, and then come back in every once in a while and soothe them. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do to not go insane. Oh, and you most likely won't start to bond with your baby, like truly bond with them, until like 2 or 3 months in. At first, you're probably gonna be like, why did I do this? Like, the baby has overtaken my life, and you don't really even know them. Don't feel bad. It's just like getting to know anybody. When you don't know them very well, you don't really have a connection with them. That makes it a little more frustrating, because it's like you kind of don't understand why you have to take care of this baby constantly, but you you know you have to because it's your baby. But then like a month or 2 months in, you start to get to know your baby really well and you feel like you're really connected to them. From then on, it's like you really feel like they're your baby now. When you look at them, you can see yourself in them, and they're super cute when they start smiling at you, and your bond with them gets way stronger, and you start to enjoy what you're doing for them more because you're more connected to them as a person, and it doesn't seem as big of a hassle as it was in the beginning. Because when you love someone a lot and you have a connection with them and you feel like they're your friend, then you enjoy doing things for them. So yeah, that's kind of how it is when you have a baby too. Oh, and one of the mistakes I made was letting my baby be on his back a lot, because it's just like the easiest position for them to be in. You're really tempted to just put them on their back all the time, but you really shouldn't do that because a lot of babies will start getting a flat spot on the back of their head, and which is what Jasper's getting now. So I made this pillow for him, kind of helps, sinks in the middle, holds his head in like a circular shape so that it's less likely to get flat on the back. Hopefully it helps his head get more round because I don't want him to have a flat head. Start from the beginning. Don't let him lay on his back all the time. The easiest thing to do is probably just to hold him while he's awake, which is kind of annoying, but if you get like a wrap that you can put him on your body, you don't have to use your hands, you can just wrap him on you. Babies really like that. I'll put Jasper on a wrap facing outward so he can see everything. When we go on walks, he loves it. Like, he doesn't cry the whole time he's on me. So either make or find where you can buy one of these pillows for when they do have to be on their back. Put this under their head and hopefully it'll be less likely they'll get a flat spot. And also just have them off their back as much as possible. Do lots of tummy time. That's easier said than done. Hold them as much as possible. Put one of these under their head. Also, we like to sit him on the couch a lot, propped up with pillows in like a sitting position. Hopefully that'll help prevent flat spot. But put your baby to sleep on his back because that's the best position for sleeping. Also, stock up as much breast milk as you can in the freezer. So like every time your baby doesn't eat, or if he starts sleeping longer through the night, it's really annoying, but you still want to get up and get the milk out into a jar and put it in the freezer. Even after you're finished feeding, you still have a little bit of milk left. Get that milk into a jar, even if it's just like a super tiny amount, because that'll eventually build up and you'll have a lot stored in your freezer. It'll give you a lot more chances to have a babysitter the more milk you have stored up. Also, for Jasper, if I don't have enough milk in me, he'll still be hungry. I wouldn't have anything to give him if I didn't have milk in the freezer. So stock up breast milk in the freezer if you're breastfeeding. Also, in relation to that, you want to start bottle feeding decently early. So like when they're 3 to 4 weeks old, you can start bottle feeding. Make sure you get the infant size nipple, because if you get a bigger nipple, they won't like it as much and they'll not take the bottle as easily. At the beginning, you want to just bottle feed them like once a day. And what we did was I let Patrick, my husband, bottle feed him every time he ate from a bottle, just when he was getting used to it. If I fed him the bottle, he would get distracted and want to eat from my breast instead of from the bottle. So he wouldn't take the bottle as easily. And then once he got used to being fed from somebody else and not me, I can give him the bottle whenever and he'll take it pretty much right away. If he doesn't take it while I'm holding him, then I'll just prop him up on the couch and then I'll sit in front of him and give it to him. So yeah, bottle's very nice to use even if you're breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is a huge commitment. You have to do it every 3 hours, but just make it easier on yourself and use a bottle and store your extra milk in the freezer. One of my last tips for if you have a boy, or if you're going to have a boy, when you're changing their diaper, make sure you have a towel available right next to you to put on top of their wiener when you take the diaper off. You want to take the diaper off and then put the towel on right away, because I swear they wait until the diaper is off to pee if they need to pee. There have been 5 times at least where I delayed putting the towel on, and that was a mistake. Like, I went to go grab a wipey to wipe him after I took the diaper off, and when I was grabbing the wipey, he just peed straight in the air all over the walls and all over his table and all over the carpet. Then you have to clean it up along with changing your baby's diaper. So just avoid that and put the towel on right away. Only take it off when you're about to put the clean diaper on. Just trust me and do it. Even if you think you're gonna be super super fast, put a towel on his wiener. And that was a lot of stuff, but I think that all of those tips are useful, especially if you've never done the mom thing before. A lot of this might sound like doom and gloom, but you're having a baby, so it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Now I can't imagine my family without Jasper in it. It's weird to think that it was just me and Patrick before without him, because now he's just one of us, and we have a little family of 3, and things are much easier now that I have the hang of it at 3 months. So that's all the things I learned in the first 3 months of being a new mom. Hopefully it helped you guys out, and hopefully you try some of the things that I did, and I hope they work for you. That's all.
Big smile. I love those big smiles. Yeah. Cute. Wow. I love you. Oh yeah. You have a lot to say today? Stand up. Whoa, you almost got it by yourself. Whoa. Wow, you almost got that by yourself. I'm barely holding you. Oh. Oh. Go. I got that. Oh, wow, You're getting tired of this? Is that what you're saying? Hey, Mom, stop that. I don't like that, Mom.
I just breastfed him like an hour ago. He's still hungry even though he emptied me all out. So now I'm giving him a bottle. I eat a lot. I don't like being on camera while I'm eating. Bye.